Hey you guys, namaste. I'm Alexandra Pachter. I'm an integrative and functional yoga therapist. Today I wanted to do a little bit of yoga for beginners. Now I have a couple other classes on this. If you want, go ahead and subscribe and take my other class that teaches you really how to breathe and move your body with your breath. That's a great video for beginners. Now, take a moment here and let's say you've never done yoga before. A lot of yoga is not just physical poses, which is what we see on Instagram and on YouTube and on commercials. A lot of yoga also is how you think about yourself in your own mind. So before we get started moving, I want you to create a statement that you're going to repeat to yourself in your mind for the next 15 minutes. It'll be a positive statement like, I trust myself, or I love myself, or I have trust in my journey, or I surrender to the path that I'm on. You know, something that resonates with you. So I'll give you a couple moments to think of that. Awesome. And once you have that in mind, you'll just repeat it to yourself throughout this class. I'll cue you into it as well in case you forget. And we're going to get started in what is called an easy seated cross-legged position, also known as Sukhasana. This might not be super easy for you to sit in. It actually took me 5 years to get my legs from like this to where they are now, so trust the process. So come to your seated position and bring the hands down to the knees. And then begin to shift your breathing to in through the nose and out through the nose instead of the mouth. Let's go ahead and take 3 breaths together here. Close the eyes, soften the jaw, and breathe in through the nose from belly to ribs to chest. Exhale through your nose. And again. And one more deep breath, belly, ribs, chest. And exhale through the nose. Keeping the eyes closed in your mind here, say something kind to yourself, repeating that affirmation or mantra that you created. Amazing. Now let's go ahead and begin to warm up our body. Inhale at center, and then on your exhale, round your back, bring the chin towards the chest. Inhale, lean forward and lift. So we're moving our spine like a wave. Here we move our spine forward, extending our heart space forward. Exhale, round your back, chin to chest. Here we pull the spine to the back wall, creating a concave front body. Inhale, lean forward and lift, extending the heart forward, opening up the throat, opening the shoulders. And then exhale, lean forward, chin to chest, rounding the spine, flexing the spine to the back of the room. Inhale, lean forward. Let's lift the heart open, lift the chin. Exhale, round the spine, chin to chest. Inhale and lift. Exhale and round. And again, inhale and lift. Exhale, round. On your inhale, float the arms up overhead, pause. Exhale, the pace of your exhale, lower your hands down by your side. These are called seated mountain breaths. Inhale, lift the arms up, palms face up. Exhale, lower the hands down at the pace of your breath by your side. Good, and let's continue to do a few more. Inhale, floating the palms up, lifting. Exhale, reaching the hands out, lower down. Inhale and lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, let's lift. Exhale and lower. Notice if the arms are starting to feel a little tired or the muscles are activating. Inhale, let's lift. Pause here. Exhale, take right hand to left knee, cross the body and the left hand behind you, and begin to twist the back, belly, shoulders. Breathe. Repeat your mantra in your mind here to yourself, your positive affirmation. And then inhale, lift the arms up. And exhale, twist over to the opposite side. Breathing here. On the inhale, lift the arms up overhead. Exhale, lower your hands down by your side and come forward into a tabletop position. Now in tabletop, you'll bring your knees underneath your hips and your hands under your shoulders. Go ahead and widen out your fingers so you're using the muscle in between your thumb and your pointer finger. Bend the knuckles like you're going to pull the mat up into the palms with the toes tucked. Exhale, round the spine. Feel the stretch in the tissues of the feet, the arches of the feet, and the subtle activation of your hands. Inhale, drop your belly down, lift the hips and head. Exhale, tuck your pelvis, round the back. Continue inhaling and lifting and exhaling and rounding. When you begin a yoga practice, a really fascinating phenomena that happens is your body awareness is going to be increased. So you'll feel parts of your body that maybe you weren't used to feeling because you simply didn't use them in your day-to-day life. The corners of your body, the edges of your body, parts of your midline and your inner body that you didn't know were maybe there, how to really use them. So enjoy the journey. One more time, inhale, drop belly down, lifting hips and head. Exhale and round. So we just warmed up the spine, a little bit of hips and shoulders, and begin to tap out the feet after having them tucked. Bring big toes to touch. Bring hips back towards the heels and lower your upper body down to your mat. This is child's pose, also known as Balasana. So a lot of yoga philosophy, well, all the yoga philosophy actually is in Sanskrit, and we have a lot of English translations. And you hear me talk in Sanskrit when I introduce the yoga poses. So breathe here, in through the nose and out through the nose. Let's take 3 more deep breaths together. On your inhale, pull yourself up and forward back to tabletop out of child's pose. From here, tuck your toes and inhale, lengthen your leg back. On your exhale, bring your knee into the chest, round the back. So some mobility here. Inhale, lengthen the leg back as you look forward. Exhale, knee into the chest. Let's inhale, lengthen the leg back, reach your left arm forward. So we have right leg back, left arm forward. And we're just balancing here, using our core. It's okay if you're a little wobbly. Take an inhale here. And exhale, bring everything down to the mat. Round your back with the toes tucked. Inhale, drop belly down as you lift the hips and the head, and then exhale, round your back. Pause here and inhale, lengthen your left leg. Find a point to focus on. A focus point is called a drishti point. And reach the opposite right arm forward. Breathe. Lower the right hand down. Exhale, left knee into your chest, round. Inhale, take the leg back and exhale, knee into your chest, round. Come back down into tabletop. And from tabletop, let's begin to invert our body into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. So toes tucked, begin to round your spine like we were doing in tabletop. Lean into the heels. Start to lift your knees. Press into your heels as you lift the hips up towards the ceiling. Separate your fingers wide. Now it's okay if your heels don't touch the ground. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. Sometimes it just takes time. Bend one knee at a time and drop the opposite heel. There's going to be parts of yoga that are challenging and parts of yoga that are really peaceful and relaxing, just like life. We have ups and downs of life. The yoga practice is a microcosm of the macrocosm of life. So be patient, listen to your body, and remember to breathe.
So downward dog, bending one knee at a time, drop the opposite heel. Let's take a moment and pause here. Go ahead and separate the feet a little bit wide. Walk your hands back to the legs, micro bend in your knees. Micro bends in the joints can be really helpful. And we're in a forward fold. I'm holding my elbows. You can do that or hold your legs. Take 2 breaths. Breathe into the intensity of the sensations that you feel and exhale them out of the body. Now with the micro bend in the knees on your inhale, reach your arms out to the side and begin to lift yourself up into standing. This is called mountain pose or Tadasana. We'll inhale here. On the exhale, bend the knees, press the front body forward, cactus arms or goalpost arms, back bend, opening up the heart. Now, inhale, straighten the spine. So spine is straight here. We're in mountain. Exhale, cactus arms, back bend. We're bending the spine one way here. We're extending it. The heart is open. Inhale, lift. Exhale, reach your arms out to the side. Bend yourself forward. So the spine bends the opposite way. Begin to bring your hands up to your shins. Press into your shins and look to the front of your mat, keeping a micro bend in the knees. This is Ardha Uttanasana, which means a halfway lift. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold. Bending spine one way. Now press into your shins. Inhale, straighten the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bring your hands down and walk yourself out and forward into downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths. Look at the space between the heels. Use your breath to breathe into the tension that you feel in your tissues. This is how we help process our tension, and it lets us feel really good after we go through what maybe is not so pleasant, such as life, right? Slowly lower down from downward dog into tabletop. Inhale, drop your belly down, lift the hips and head, extending the spine. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, drop belly, lift hips and head, and exhale, round the back. Great. From here, let's come to tabletop and transition to a seated position. So walk the knees over to the right, drop the hips down to the left. Let's bring our feet forward. Now, a big part of yoga is using our core. So what would a beginner video be without some core, right? Reach your arms forward, begin to lean back and lift the legs into Ardha Navasana or half boat. 3 breaths. You can also straighten the legs if you would like. That's a bit more advanced. Amazing. Lower your feet down. Wrap your arms around your legs. Give yourself a hug. Take a breath here. Now begin to release. Reach the arms forward. Separate the feet a little bit. And we'll slowly descend down to the mat. Lowering down. And once you're on your back, palms flat, walk your feet a little bit closer into your body. Not much, but a little bit closer. And let's come up into bridge pose. So another pose for the spine. Begin to activate your core by pressing your lower back down into the mat. Okay, as if you wanted to slide your hands under your low back, but your low back was saying, no, you can't get under here. So really press the low back into the mat, press into the palms, and begin to lift your hips off the floor, lifting the glutes off the floor. Hover here and just feel the body. Okay, now let's press the pelvis, the hips up to the ceiling. So the low back lifts off the floor, middle back lifts off the floor. Press the chest to the ceiling. Press palms into the mat. Press your feet into the mat for Setu Bandhasana bridge pose. Now guys, it's important to not turn your head side to side. If you already did, it's okay, but please don't do that going forward. You want to just look straight as there is pressure on the upper back. Take a breath here, inhale. And on the exhale, let's bring our back down, starting from upper back, middle back, lower back. And then bring your knees into your chest. Begin to cool the body down. Let's rock side to side here.
Open the arms out to the side, drop the knees to the left, keep the upper body on the ground. One deep inhale. Exhale. Lift the knees into your chest and drop the knees over to the other side. One deep inhale and exhale. Lift your knees into your chest. Bring your feet down, straighten out the legs. Let your arms rest by your side, and we enter our final resting pose, Shavasana. So I invite you to stay here a little bit longer. Repeat that mantra, that positive affirmation to yourself. And this is where I leave you. Enjoy. I hope you feel great. And feel free to leave me a comment, like, and subscribe. And until next time, from my heart to yours, namaste.